Hey guys, so last night I finally saw the movie The 33. I would have done it Friday, but I was kind of busy, so I didn't. And I was off today, so I was like, oh, I'll go see The 33 on Monday. And this movie looked alright. It did. It's one of those. This is a week. It fell on a week where there's nothing really that was coming out that looked interesting. Uh, Love the Cooper looks bad. There was something called My All American. I remember getting a trailer for it once, but I forget what the hell it was about. It's about a football player, and all I know it's about a football player, and it stars Aaron Eckhart, I think, if I remember right. Um, I barely remember that, and then there was also this movie, which looked honestly okay from the trailers. I remember this happening in 2010. I remember the Chilean mine accident that happened, and everybody was watching the TV to see what would happen to these people if they would survive, and it was it was pretty interesting, and luckily they did. Spoiler alert. I know that's pretty much a spoiler, but I mean, if you pretty much been living under a rock for the past 5 years, then fuck you. I mean, it was pretty famous. It was one of the most biggest news stories of 2010. And of course, Hollywood jumped on that opportunity and said, fuck it, we gotta make a movie about this. Didn't take long for them to say, well, we're gonna make a movie about this. I swear, it's like, I forgot to mention this with Steve Jobs. Right after Steve Jobs died, I swear to God, they were like, we're making a movie about him. I'm like, wow, that didn't take long. Like, his body's still fresh. So, and it, yeah, Hollywood just jumped on the gun for this, and I almost forgot they were making one until like I got a trailer for this a few months ago, and it looked all right. So you got Antonio Banderas, you got Lou Diamond Phillips, two pretty good actors, or two good actors out there. Should be all right. That's basically my response. It's an all right film. It is. Um, it's nothing. I would say go out and see. I wouldn't say just we gotta rush out to the movie theater and see this movie right now. Um, it's a rental. Uh, See it at a cheap theater for a few bucks. It's one of those kinds of movies. It's not a bad film, but it's not a terrible film. It's just an okay film. I actually kind of like this a little bit better than Spectre. At least I can get invested in fucking the story of this film more than I did in anything in Spectre. Me and my buddy were talking about that. He didn't like Spectre at all either. Um, he disliked Spectre a lot more than I did. But yeah, this I kind of liked a lot better than Spectre. Um, the the acting in this movie is pretty solid. You got Antonio Banderas who carries this movie for the most part. He is he is really good. He's just the leader of the miners who you know what a surprise! The biggest name actor in this movie is the leader of the group, and she shows his acting chops. He's always been a pretty good actor out there. I like Antonio Banderas. He has an intensity about him too in this movie. Only Antonio Banderas can pull off. He's very good. I like him as an actor. You got Lou Diamond Phillips is a guy that in all disaster movies, that's in almost every disaster movie where he was the one who told them that this mountain was probably gonna break and they didn't listen. What a shocker. Um, and yeah, he's good in this. He also got Oscar from The Office, which I didn't realize was in this. Um, it's probably one of the funnier parts because he's the comic relief. Surprise. Uh, and I guess I haven't seen him in something in a long time. It was kind of cool to see Oscar in a movie. And he's the comedic relief, and the fact that he's married and he's also having a what the hell is it? He's having other relationship with a woman, another relationship with a woman, like right next door to their house, and his wife knows about it, and also his mistress knows about each other. His mistress and his wife know about each other, and it's like they're always constantly fighting. Like, mistress keeps being kicked out by the wife out of the what the hell is it, the where all the families are waiting for the miners outside the desert. They have like a little area for all of them to live while they're waiting. The wife keeps kicking out the mistress. This is it is an incredible story. Like, I forgot how the hell. Like, I remember at one point in the movie they run out of food. I'm like, how the fuck did they survive from this point forward? They're literally starving at one point to death. I was like, it had been a while since the story happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, NASA sent help by sending like some of their food that they used to bring, or they bring on space missions. That's like, that was kind of a smart idea, because just conveniently right at that time when, I don't know how accurate this is, that just conveniently that right at the time that they run out of food, they drill right to them and they're able to send. I don't know how, that's just convenient for me. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that's just a little too fucking convenient, that I don't think is realistic. Like the one thing I remember off the top of my head was the part where the minister of drilling is trying to figure out how to get the drill to the miners, like drill all the way to the miners. They keep having trouble getting to the miners, and they keep going for like many drills, and it isn't until the sister of one of the miners tells him to learn from your mistakes or something like that he figures it out. I'm like, what? I was like, so that's how he figured it out. I highly fucking doubt it, but whatever, because it's probably more dramatized. I guarantee a lot of this movie is more dramatized, like the fact that the sister at one point slaps the shit out of the minister of drilling, like that. I don't know if that fucking happened, but if it did, it was pretty awesome. I'll give him that. That scene was pretty cool. This movie isn't too much of a religious movie, as much as I expected. It was like, it is like, it mentions God and all that stuff like that every so often, but it isn't. It's just about a story about survival, and it works. It works for the most part. Yeah. It is, if you've seen one kind of movie, like a disaster movie like this, you've seen them all. It has all the cliches that you would expect. Like I said, Lou Diamond Phillips is the guy that warns them that this is going to happen. There's this, there's the Chilean government, or the mining company that doesn't want to do anything about it, and isn't until the Chilean government does something about it. It's a movie that has a lot of cliches in it. You've seen it all. Like I said, you've seen them, like any kinds of these movies. You've seen them all. But I still recommend it. It's all right. I would recommend not seeing it. I wouldn't say it's whole full price or anything like that. It is a pretty cool story. And as far as trailers go, I only got 2 new trailers. I gotta talk about one of these especially. Miracles from Heaven. Alright. This is the first time since I saw the trailer for Little Boy that I yelled bullshit in the middle of the movie theater. This movie's about, it's a religious movie, shockingly, from that somehow got Jennifer Garner in it. What the fuck? Jennifer Garner. You're better than this. It's from the producers of Heaven is for Real. And, well, they did. Who the hell did they get? They got somebody big for that movie, too. Who the fuck did they get? I can't remember. But her daughter is got a rare form of cancer or something like that, where she's really, really sick, and there's no cure for it. And she just keeps praying and praying and praying. And then at one point in the trailer, her daughter, is sitting on a branch in a tree, and the branch breaks, and she falls to the ground. And when she wakes up, she's in the hospital, and they find out that she's cured from cancer from falling from the tree. Bullshit! That's exactly my response was, bullshit! I don't see the fucking correlation whatsoever. I know it's supposed to be, it's a message from God. It's from the movie, it says it's inspired by the incredible true story. Again, bullshit. It's about as bullshitty of a story as heaven is for real. Yeah, no. Fuck it. And like I said, it just showed the whole movie, so there's no suspense of whether she's gonna die or not. Hey, way to go, movie. I'm pretty sure that movie just showed the whole fucking movie in the trailer. And I'm not gonna see it anyways. And the last new trailer I got, was The Young Messiah. Or what I call the prequel to Passion of the Christ. It's a story about a young Jesus that grew in his growing up. I'm like, yay, another Jesus movie coming out in Easter, because we haven't had many of those before. I'm like, God, it's a movie. I'll give him points for this. It's the first one I think I've seen that shows him growing up as a child. That's a little different. I'll give him points. That for points of being a little bit different there. I don't remember many movies doing that. Only something like Passion of the Christ, you would get like flashbacks to his childhood, and that was it. All right. I was like, but no, it's not my cup of tea. Again, like I said, what else can you do about a Jesus movie? I don't know why. There's not much else to tell. You've seen a million times the story of Jesus on film. Anyways, but we just even had a couple of years ago, Son of God, which I never saw. Whatever. Anyways, I'll be back in a couple of days, by the end of the week probably, with reviews for The Night Before, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and maybe Legend. I'm hoping that my theater gets Legend, but I can't guarantee it. But right now it doesn't look like it, but it might. It's a movie I'm hoping I'm gonna try to see one way or another. That does look pretty good. But anyways, until then, I'll talk to you guys later.